like to introduce Robert Melendres, EVP at IGT, so runs all interactive at IGT, and has had a long career doing things ranging from Chief Legal at IGT, has been involved with legal strategy, has been CEO of software companies. We're very thankful that you're here to share some of your wisdom and experience with us, and so with that, I'll hand it over to you. Thank you very much.
Great. I think I'm on mic. Can you hear me okay? Okay. And I apologize for those of you in the back of the room, but maybe we can, we only have 20 minutes, so 20 minutes of stand shouldn't be too bad. So first of all, I thought I'd talk about why is IGT here in Casual Connect. I don't know how many know IGT, but IGT's been around for about 30 years, and most of its life's been a publicly traded company, S&P 500, multi-billion-dollar company, 850 in EBITDA, 5,000 patents, licensed everywhere in the world where there's real gambling on the land-based side. We spend $200 million in R&D a year, about 5,000 employees located on 6 continents. So it sounds like a real great social gaming company. But the reality is, we actually don't do the Bloody Marys before meetings. But the reality is, at our heart, we're a content company, we're a game company, and although we grew up in a very regulated industry in the real gambling side, we believe that one of the greatest opportunities that we had for growth was in social gaming. And so what we did a year and a half ago was acquired a company called Double Down, and a lot of things changed from there. And I think one of the first things that's changed for us was culturally. There had to be a cultural shift. I think some of you, for example, who are on social gaming side thinking about going into online real gambling, there will be a cultural shift, I promise you. When you have regulators, starting to look through your bank statements and asking questions about what you spent your money on, it's a deterrent. But also for us, it was when I first walked into the new Double Down location, they put a big sign up that said Double Down Interactive, an awesome subsidiary of IGT, and it's that kind of blend that I think is bringing for us great success in the social gaming side. But again, it's also a combination of the two. So far, Double Down right now is the top grossing casino app on Facebook, number 3 overall. And the team was located in Seattle. They're still in Seattle. We're still trying to keep them vertically integrated. But the reality is the strength of what we have right now is the combination between IGT and Double Down. And so there's lots of collaboration with our San Francisco team that builds real online gambling games for both land as well as online. And also we have a team in Beijing that we leverage for various technical and platform-related work. We were voted recently #1 place to work in Seattle, and we are taking applications for those of you who are interested. And Peter's right here, who's our main recruiter. But we really have had great success. We've grown the business a little over 100% year over year. We just ended the last quarter at $61 million or $250 million run rate. So I'm really excited about that. But what I came here to talk to you about is how are we going to make sure that casino segment of social gaming is sustainable in the long run? And how are we going to maintain that growth? We have a big challenge in front of us. This year, Super Data estimated that the market for social casino gaming to be $2.1 billion. I think it was yesterday or the day before they upped it to this year being 2.8. Whether it's 2.1 or 2.8, I'm not entirely sure, but the point is it's multi-billion, it's huge, and it is growing, and it's growing significantly faster than the other segments. And so I think one of the questions we have to ask ourselves is how are we going to be able to participate in that and sustain it? And moving forward in the future, I believe that it's learning how to provide to players that experience of doubling down. Because if you can provide that even in a social gaming world where they can't have a real prize, they can't get monetary value, if you can learn how to do that, even when online gambling becomes legalized in many jurisdictions, I still think social gaming will be a powerful segment. And we all need to learn how to exploit that. And it's increasingly hard because you have players who have many, many choices now for entertainment. And so I guess the question is, how do you do it? And I wanted to give you my thoughts about how we're going to do it at Double Down at IGT. And maybe you can learn a little bit about our strategy and or maybe emulate some of it. But I think the best way to capture it is by this simple statement that says, we need to learn how to offer as an industry the best gaming experiences everywhere, all the time, across every device, seamlessly to players. And what do I mean by that? Very simply, offering the best gaming experiences to me does mean superior content. And superior content, by the way, it's great graphics, it's great sound, it's all of those things, but it's also great volatility in the math that you provide a player. How that actually works, the player's ride. That's something that's hard to learn. But it's not just providing continual or superior content, but it's continually refreshing it. So you can make a great game, but I think you're going to have to think about how you make a great game and how you introduce a great game regularly. Right now at Double Down, we're doing it every 2 weeks. And so every 2 weeks, you'll have a new game that a player can play. So continually refreshing, to my mind, is critical, but also it's variety. So if you want to build out, I believe, the biggest community of players, it's not just giving them one ride, but giving them many, many rides. And our plan is to do it. Anything that's social, anything that's wager-based, you'll find it on our site. The second is doing it everywhere. And doing it everywhere is pretty complicated. Our strategy is definitely to go worldwide, and I hope all of you will go worldwide. But to do that, it's not just Facebook, it's other social networks. It's also mobile is going to be important. You have to reach regions where they don't have great bandwidth. And to do that, you have to, I believe, have market-attuned content. Some of us start the market-attuned content by changing the language, which is great. You do need to do that. But you also need to provide games and potentially even different kinds of experiences within those games in different regions. I think what plays well in China doesn't necessarily play well in Missouri. And so you have to learn how to balance that. Pricing is important too. I mean, it's something that we have to look at as well. Not everyone has the same per capita income in each region around the world. So as you provide those, I think you have to really think through those kinds of issues. If you don't, I think you're missing something. You won't be able to adequately penetrate some of the international markets. And then think about the infrastructure optimization. And what I mean by that is, when you build your mobile product, if you build it for 4G, it doesn't work on 3G, most of the world's there. And so you got to think about how you do that and do that effectively, because downloads and low performance really matters for our users, right? They really are impacted by that. The other is doing it all the time, and I really believe that there's a massive market in the United States and in the Western region for sure, but we're also, I think, as an industry, we're not penetrating some of the other markets effectively in the other side of the world, and I think we have to be organized so that we have a 24/7, 365 business, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing at Double Down, and that means operations and customer service. If you're not getting the best experiences when the player calls up and they've lost for whatever reason their bankroll, and you can't address it, or your site goes down, or you have a bug and no one's there to fix it. So you have to be thinking about that if you're going to move outside and worldwide. And of course, across every device. You have to have that play. So even today, we're working, on this ourselves, but we're not completely providing the users the same kind of seamless experience between the desktop and mobile. And we absolutely will. It will absolutely increase our investments year over year by about twofold, just to give you a sense of it. And I think also seamlessly in players, to me, is a very complicated thing. It's an easy thing to say, but it's very, very complicated, because to me, it means offering to offering, incenting them to go into another app and do it seamlessly with one wallet, with one loyalty program. But you also need to think about how they do that device to device, again, seamlessly. They stop play on mobile and begin again on desktop, and they start where they left off, even if they were disconnected from the system for whatever reason. And of course, we have to think about positive player engagement, and it spans all of these things. It's everything from great experience, continually refreshed, to download times and the like. So to me, as an industry, if we can truly capture and solve these issues, and for us, some of these are multi-year, some of them are easy, some of these are things that we can deliver today. But if we can do all of that, that we can offer the best gaming experiences everywhere, all the time, across every device, seamlessly to players. And keep in mind, they have a lot of competing interests. And so we're here, and I hope that you're here as well to figure out how we can deliver those thrilling experiences to our players. And with that, I'll open it up to Q&A. And am I good on time, by the way? Okay, good. How much time do we have? Good, great. So, happy to take any questions that anyone might have. Yes?
You mentioned that you guys are, with Double Down, you're looking at content for even on the casino floors, or did I miss that? Was that right?
Yeah, so I'll explain that. So we, right now, the content that we build for online gambling in regulated markets like in Europe, which will soon be in New Jersey and Delaware, it's in Canada, we're taking that exact content and putting it on Double Down, exact same content. A lot of that content, a good portion of that, is the same games that are also played on the casino floor. So for example, Ghostbusters. So if you go into a casino floor, you'll play Ghostbusters, and you go through bonusing rounds, you go through the same types of features that game has, game mechanics, etc. We have the exact same offering on online gambling, and so we also have the ability, if we choose to move that into social, just as an example. But yeah, we're doing that. You'll see more and more of that from us, so that this whole idea of convergence is really important. It's not critical. It's just important. It's something that we have a competitive advantage for those, because we have that part of it. But we don't have that, for example, in bingo. We don't have that in poker. We do have it on video poker. We don't have it on roulette, et cetera, et cetera. But there's a combination in our portfolio of both.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, please.
Yeah. Oh. Hi. Yeah, so I'm glad you brought up Ghostbusters. Yeah, you guys have some of the best content in land-based casinos. Ghostbusters is awesome. Kitty Glitter, another one I always play when I walk by. So, the innovation that you're showing kind of like in the conventional slot stuff is good, but are you guys building any content that kind of doesn't reflect anything conventional? That's more completely original?
Yeah. Yeah, but first of all, we are, but before I answer the question, don't underestimate the power of what we're doing. And I think the results show that. And so you got to do, you got to build your house first, right? And so we're building the foundation, building the house, and now we're going to expand. And so, but we have many incredible innovations coming out. I don't want to pre-sell this, or I don't want to pre-announce, but I'll give you an example of, you'll see soon, something that looks like a match 3 that is a slot game. Pretty cool. Cool stuff. I mean, we have so many cool things. Sorry if I have guys who are in our office here, but we have so many cool things like this. There's also, and we'll continue to push the envelope in innovation. Keep in mind that just this year alone, in the interactive business, we filed 45 patents this year alone in my interactive team, okay? And so that's, it's one of the most prolific filers of patents actually on my team here in San Francisco. Somebody else had a question here?
Yeah, I had a question here. How long have you been putting the IGT content onto Double Down, and what's the land-based player crossover rate looking like? Is it pretty strong? What do you see that way?
Yeah. So we started in about July of last year, putting some content on. We put Da Vinci Diamonds and Cleopatra on. But what we didn't do is we have what we call a remote gaming server for the online business, where all of our product resides, and then it gets served kind of through an iframe to players, and but the random number generator stays within that server. So that integration that we did for RGS, that occurred in January. And so those games that you see coming out now on the slot side, a lot of them are coming from that library of product. Now, we didn't believe that we should put all the product out. It's just like, if you want to read Shakespeare, you don't give him give all the works. You give him a sonnet, and that's kind of how we're playing it with the players, giving one that they can play. We can market it well, and then we'll continue to refresh that. In terms of the crossover analysis right now, there hasn't been a lot of that because in the United States in particular, where the majority of our land-based business is, it's not legal yet. So, but we are doing some really innovative things there. We just ran the world's largest video poker tournament with Casino del Sol in Arizona. So what we did is we ran a video poker tournament starting on Double Down. We had 280,000 people participate, which Casino del Sol couldn't hold that many people in their facility. They participated, became eligible, and then they're going to be able to play, and you can do that, by the way, they're going to be able to play in the casino itself, okay, and then actually in the casino tournament then earn prizes. So that's really great. We're also working on some crossover work with in Canada where they can do it. So British Columbia is doing some of that, and also so is a lot of Quebec. So they put, for example, Cleopatra, little tags on all the Cleopatra machines in a lot of Quebec casino, and people then ran a tournament online, and that crossover drove usage up on both sides. So a lot of people think, oh, it's going to cannibalize. What we've seen so far is that, I think there can be some cannibalization, but the reality is what we've seen so far in the case of a lot of Quebec, both of them ran up and just increased usage and excitement around a tournament. And then in British Columbia, we're seeing both businesses growing at the same time. So British Columbia right now, I believe over about 80% of their online businesses run the same product. Actually, it's on Double Down, but it's for real gambling. And we'll see more and more of this. We'll do more analysis of how it works when online gaming becomes legalized in regions where we can do more of this. But a lot of our customers are asking for it. And we'll be in New Jersey soon, we'll be in Delaware soon, here in the United States. Yep.
You're offering the same game on mobile devices and also in a land-based casino. So it's a social and real cash game. So when you're doing it, do you use the same math and volatility, or you change it?
Yeah, okay, that's a good question. We use the same math and volatility. The difference is, though, in order for it to, if you have Marcus might know this. Marcus, when you have a game like Ghostbusters on the casino floor, it's about 250. What is it? Gig? I don't know. Or how big is that? 250.
Think about it this way: on our machines, one button that's going to link it to you in the casino might be close to 30 megs. Just one button, right? And so we got to take all of that capability and all of that experience and shrink it down to 12 megabytes to be able to play it on.
Yeah, and what we do is, so although the math is the same, and what we do is we take the land-based game, shrink it down, and we'll shrink it down for iPad, and then shrink it down again for iPhone, for online, and then shrink it down again for iPad and iPhone. But it is the same math, same volatility. 1 minute.
There are a lot of apps you see in the marketplace which are integrated casinos like yours, and then you also see standalone slots apps and standalone poker apps. So we'd love to hear your perspective on those.
I think there's a place for both. We'll explore that. I mean, having a casino with all the games on it has been a great success for us so far, but I don't think it's the only way to approach the market, and I think some people are incredibly successful doing it differently. So, I think the numbers speak for themselves. I think people are doing great, and either way, and we'll explore both ways. Okay, we're done? Okay. Well, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it, guys. Thanks for listening, okay?